So LaGrave, we are back doing a Psalm 40 conversation with Marge Penning, and I've been really looking forward to this one. Marge is an elder currently. This is her first time being an elder, but Marge, welcome to Psalm 40 Project. Thank you for agreeing to sit down with me today to have a chat.
Yes, and thank you for having me do this.
Yeah. Let's just start with an easy one. Where'd you grow up, Marge?
I grew up in a small town called Vicksburg, which is south of Kalamazoo.
Oh yeah, okay.
In Michigan.
Yeah. Isn't there a racetrack there in Vicksburg, or there used to be?
There, yeah.
Okay.
Nearby.
Okay.
Nearby. You know, mostly I think we were known for 3 red lights, and
we didn't even have any in Byron Center. So, okay. So what church did you go to there in Vicksburg?
I went to actually a church in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Millwood Christian Reformed Church.
Oh wow, yeah. All right, excellent. So tell us something interesting that you recall growing up at Millwood CRC.
Yes. Well, other than the fact that the address of the church was Lover's Lane, which had to appear on my wedding announcement.
Convenient.
Convenient. I remember a time when the young people were asked to put, you remember the churches had the signage with the times of the service,
Yeah.
and the large signs in the front. And the young people were assigned to come up with a little slogan.
Okay.
And one young man suggested a certain one that we all just loved that got turned down, but it was, "What are you doing on earth for heaven's sake?" And that double meaning of the phrase
Yes.
was, has kind of become for me sort of an important focus today. But I do remember at the time we loved the double meaning.
Wow. May I ask a follow-up question
Yes.
about that? What was that like then for the youth group to come up with that phrase, and then did I hear you right? Then it was not accepted.
It wasn't accepted. But we knew we were all on the the facetious side of it.
Yeah.
What are you doing on earth for heaven's sake? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What are some of the positive ways that Millwood CRC and the people at Millwood helped form your faith in a positive direction?
Yeah, mostly in those early years. Well, I was raised in a Christian home.
Okay.
And regular church attendance, and in those days, the church was the center of your life. I mean,
Yes.
it was double services. My parents were very devout. We had, anytime there would be a visiting minister or missionary, they were having dinner at our house.
Oh wow.
And
okay.
it was very, very involved, and a lot of Sunday observance. So the traditions, learning the catechism was a big part of it.
Okay.
But the traditions of the church and just the regular attendance and the habits of the church, that type of thing, that I think that was more of my focus in those years. And then later on, when we were in graduate school, my late husband and I attended a church, a Presbyterian church in Lexington, Kentucky.
All right.
A very dynamic minister. And I think that I was kind of, in a way, fitting into the church more at a peripheral level, even though I was well exposed to everything.
Okay.
And then as time went on, when we came back and Jim joined the faculty at Calvin, now university, and I became a consultant in an autism program, center-based program for the intermediate district.
Yeah.
We joined a church, Plymouth Heights, where we currently have in our congregation, who's now retired, Reverend Bill Van Dyke.
Yes.
And again, went for the dynamic minister, and were regular attendees of the church, but not really well integrated within it.
Okay.
It was after he retired that we joined LaGrave, and that would have been in about 1984.
Okay. And
we continued on as members here until he died in 2010, and then I'm obviously still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in many ways, my faith was influenced in a building process over time.
Okay.
So over long-term exposure, the traditions, the fellowship with other members, definitely the catechism, the sermons, and then I kind of went on and tended to lean towards more information. I think we all come to God in different ways.
Yes.
And to me, it was a lot of reading, seeking C.S. Lewis, Lee Strobel, reading other, Charles Stanley. I'm currently starting to read N.T. Wright.
Yes.
So it was just more, I think, of a self-developing of faith.
Okay, so along the way, who are the folks that spoke to your mind, that helped develop that?
Yes.
School teachers,
Yeah.
who are those folks?
Not as much school teachers. I
Okay.
went through the public schools.
Okay.
You know, as I saw in, again, later years, that, you know, and Jim went through the Christian schools.
Okay, yeah.
I was in a position living in Vicksburg where it wasn't possible for us to go to the Kalamazoo Christian School until high school.
Sure.
At that time, my father tried to bribe each of us with a car if we would switch. But then we were then like sophomore, junior in high school.
Right.
Didn't want to leave the school we'd grown up in. But over time, you know, I see again, and very committed to the focus of Christian education.
Yeah.
But I do think God places people in our lives to encourage us. That and there are people that I can think of who had just a deep, deep sense of faith.
Yeah.
In my private practice, I was in speech pathology, a really close relationship with family members because I would see some people for many, many years, and I would see, you know, parents and older clients who just had a tremendous faith, and you know, some of them were Catholic. I can think of one who was evangelical, but their comments and just the exuberance of their faith gives you a sense of that you really want what it is that they have. And so then I would, you know, listen to them and kind of talk about what they were reading and what they were focusing on. So I think it was, you know, if you're not in a situation where faith comes easily to you, you're given people within your life that will help you along with that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Spirit guides us to reading what we need to read.
Okay. All right. Right now you're reading N.T. Wright,
Right,
among others.
yeah.
Yeah.